know that sound? You know I'm towing the car dolly. I'm out here and
turn right onto Kingsbury Drive.
Looking at a Passat TDI, so let's see if this is actually a good contender for my next project vehicle. Oh, this poor unsuspecting neighborhood. This thing is so loud. So this Passat, it's been off the road for a while. Guy didn't really say too much. Said it needs TLC. I know it's definitely going to need a timing belt based on our interactions, and some brakes. So I brought my laptop with VCDS, so we'll plug that in, do some diagnostics and see what's up with this thing. I only have $2,100 cash on me. He's asking $3,000. Let's see if I can play some hardball and get him down to $2,100. All right, well, here she is. Ended up getting it for $1,800. Interior's a little rough. It does run, it does drive. Ran the codes, nothing crazy. I'll link those in the description and show you a screenshot of that. Definitely could use a few things, but I guess we're back at the TDI game again. So it tows a lot better than the Astro, as expected. After a little bathroom break and a fuel stop, I think we got another 20 miles to go. So not terrible. But boy, does this van drink. All right, we made it home. Let's unload and order some parts for this bad boy. All right, maybe this particular key is dead, but you're supposed to, like, I think hold it there if it's dead. All right. Put it in reverse, Terry. All right, well, we're in one piece. Before I do an oil change, I'm going to add a little bit of this Marble Mystery Oil. It's one of my favorites to use. I'll add probably about 8 ounces or so of this to the oil, and I will continue to drive the car, let it heat up, let it free up any deposits, and help unclog any oil passageways. So if you add a little extra, it's all good. Don't be too shy with it. So this works on gas and diesel engines. So let's go start it up. So with this car sitting for so long, it's been off the road for quite a few years. I'm gonna add a little bit of one of my old favorites, Diesel Clean. So it's good for your tank and your injectors, helps prevent algae. So I'm gonna have to get a screwdriver and add a little bit of that in there. But on the odd chance, let me see if I can just dump some in. So off camera, added about a third of the bottle or so. It's kind of a trick to get the funnel in there with that anti-siphon system. So I'm gonna go close this gas tank up, put the hood down, and take this thing for a ride. All right, so I gotta get some batteries for these bad boys. Definitely wanna order some interior components too. And away we go. Yeah, this brake sound cashed out. So we'll go this way. Flat spot in the tires or bent wheel. As time will tell. It's definitely out of alignment for sure. See what she can do. That wheel might be bent. Smell a little bit of brakes. That wheel is definitely cooked. So let's just get her home, check it out. Transmission feels all right though. Seems to be shifting. I know it probably wouldn't hurt to take a peek at the fluid to see what that's looking like. Some really cool people in their Ram TRXs. Another interesting thing, none of those codes that I cleared came back. So maybe it just needs to, maybe just needed a reset to be driven a bit. I don't know. So let's pop the hood. I definitely smell a little bit of diesel. I wonder if one of the flex pipes or something is kind of cracked. So besides that little belt issue and that harmonic balancer being acid shot, actually seems to idle pretty well. So I ordered an air filter and a few other things I'm going to go check out too. Looks like this hasn't been touched in a while. We're going to do a fuel filter, oil change. Check some of these other little leaks and stuff. So I'll just let it idle, let it get up to temperature. All right, so after pushing on the wheel a little bit, I think these lugs actually aren't fully seated. So I'm gonna go tighten those and take it for another drive. Yeah, these lugs are, I'd basically say hand tightened in here. So I'm gonna get a breaker bar and also lift this thing up to make sure that's properly seated on there. But I'm just gonna let it keep idling for a little bit. Get that Marvel Mystery Oil all moving around in there. And we got that diesel cleaning the tank. So that sound and wobble are definitely gone after tightening those lug nuts. I went ahead after that and spot checked all the other wheels to make sure they were also properly attached to the car. So I'm gonna just do a little loop really quick and see how things feel. All right, so let's straighten this thing out and see what it'll do. So I'll put it in sport mode. Oh yeah, all right, here we go. So that's not full throttle, it's about half or so. Interesting. Brakes are definitely sticking, you can feel that. I'm also surprised it didn't wind it out a bit more, but I guess I haven't driven an automatic diesel in quite some time. Alright, we're back in regular mode. And let's just get this thing home. I mean, I would feel totally fine with actually just throwing this thing on insurance and just driving it as is till things get fixed. But I do want to pull off the timing cover just to see how that timing belt looks to hopefully get a better idea of how long it's been in there. Other thing I realized, the blower motor does not work. So it's either clogged with something or fuse went. So I know it's up under there. I think first step, I'm gonna pull out the filter, see how that motor rotates and kind of go from there. Definitely have a lot of weird interior stains, have a lot of questions. This thing is also probably gonna get some all-weather floor mats as these ones look like absolutely atrocious. But yeah, still no other check engine lights, no DPF lights, no nothing. Maybe just need to be driven a bit. So I think it's been running for long enough. Let's pop that timing cover off and see what we're dealing with. So there's the timing belt. It's definitely got visible cracks in it. This is an interference engine. How's this back side? Yeah, that's not great. I mean, I've seen worse, but still, I wouldn't really want to risk it. So all these parts are ordered from Rock Auto, so we're just waiting on that stuff to come in. Timing belt, water pump, serpentine belt, harmonic balancer. I'm gonna try to get that harmonic balancer off eBay. There was somebody I was like, that it listed for 50. I'm trying to lowball them for 30. Let's see if they take it. Otherwise, I can see if I can get one locally, but to buy one new for like 130 to 170 seems a little funny to me right now. Passat's been sitting for about a week. It's insured and it's got a plate on it now. So I'm gonna start it, let it idle for a minute, and fill up the tires, and take it to the quarter car wash. Sounds about the same as it did last time. It actually feels pretty okay on the dirt roads, no crazy clunks. We're gonna get it up to highway speeds after I put some fuel in it and give it a car wash. Then I'll hit those brakes and see if I can clean them off a little bit. All right, that was a success. Car looks good. Still running. Let's finally up the temperature. Let's get it out to the highway. So there's definitely a new sound. It sounds like something's out of balance. I checked the wheels. Lug nuts are still attached and tight, so it's not that. Could just be one of the brake rotors is like super rusty still, or super warped, and is coming into contact with one of the brake pads. Hopefully we'll get to the bottom of that pretty soon. So we're rocking that diesel clean in the tank. I ended up adding a little bit more of that, so we're gonna do a pretty heavy clean because this thing's been off the road sitting, and so hopefully the tank doesn't really have any algae in it, but I'm gonna plan for the worst. I put a bunch of that Marvel mystery oil into the oil, and that'll hopefully help break up some of the carbon and or sludge or deposits, which that's been very helpful in the past for cars I've worked on. All right, here we go. Want to give it the full beans just because the timing belt's a little suspicious and this oil's pretty old, but it does, you know, get up to cruising speed quite easily. Whoa, it's definitely got a wobble in the steering. Wonder if it's a bent rim or if it's brake rotor. So I'll let these cars kind of move out of the way behind me. Yep, cool, there we go. And I can go for a brake touch. And here we go, brake touch. Oh yeah, it's definitely the rotors. So I'll try to do that a few times to break the rust off of them. Pretty gnarly at 70. And let's not full braking power. I don't want to lock up a caliper or do anything too dangerous. But if I hopefully do that a few more times, kind of clean these rotors off, get a better idea of what's going on with the brakes. There's a lot of traffic, so we're gonna rip sport mode really quick, see what this baby can do. Oh yeah, spun him a little bit. Oh yeah, let's go. Dang, that actually rips pretty good. Back home, car did well. Blower motor still doesn't work. Averaged 26, which is kind of crazy considering I just like let it run for like 37 minutes. I am concerned though why the fuel tank is showing I used so much fuel. So I'm really curious if it has a leak because I haven't gone that many miles. So I've only gone 7.6 since I've filled it up. So I wonder if that's an electrical thing or if I got a leak somewhere. Exterior wise though, this thing cleaned up pretty good. For just a quick wash, you could definitely use a wax to make it look a little nicer. See, the rotors are still pretty cooked. That might be, I don't know, try to drive it for a week and see what happens. Back ones look also very cooked. I mean, everything seems fine under here. I haven't really noticed any changes. Probably drive it a little more before I do that oil change, just to try to free up any of that sludge. I'll probably end up touching the timing belt in about a week or so after I look at it today. I mean, other than that, this thing seems to be pretty solid. Gonna order some floor mats, gonna hopefully do a pretty deep shampoo on the interior and figure out that blower motor. Let's get that cabin air filter up and out. So we got a few little screws right back in here to get. Pretty easy. Yep, right there. That. So with this one right here, just kind of pull it to this side. Oh wow, some stuff in there. Oh no. Well, I wonder if that could be. Ooh, I smell a little burning something. I wonder if the blower motor is completely clogged up. So based on the look of this thing and how much crap's in here, I would have to guess that this is the original cabin air filter. Or maybe not. Maybe that's a manufacturer date code, the 8520. That's crazy. So we're gonna throw this one out. I'm gonna try to turn the car on and see if I can get any movement from that blower motor. Maybe stick my hand in there and try to free it if it's stuck. So I can't seem to be able to reach in there. So we're gonna try to take this thing out. All right, so to get this thing up and out, trying to get this little tab deal out. Anyways, there's a little tab right here. You pull this back and then this whole thing, I don't know if you saw that, just rotates. Wow, there's a lot of whatever is in there. And then you just kind of wiggle it, whoop, and down we go. So I might have to put the phone down to actually two-hand work this around the carpet, but I'll show you guys what it looks like once it's out. And so you lean that kind of front side down and then just kind of wiggle it out like that. So let's see how it feels. A little bit of stuff in there. It's a lot of resistance in that thing. Well, let's plug it in. So I'm gonna connect that other power connector and let's actually see if I can spin this thing up manually. So it looks like that's our resistor and this is just for the motor. So let's, car's on. All right, I'm gonna turn on to like 3. All right, so it does work. You can hear it's making some sounds. So let's turn it off. Let's see if it'll restart on its own. So here's, interesting. I mean, do I just put it back in? Because now I know it's working? I don't know. I think cost savings, part of me just wants to throw this thing right back in there and just run it. Screw it, I'm gonna run it. So I'm gonna get some sort of disinfectant spray, just kind of clean this up a little bit, put that new cabin air filter in there, and let's see how many months this thing's last. Or maybe it'll last for a year, or maybe the lifetime of this car. So yeah, pretty easy to remove this thing. Got my new to me used dampener crank pulley. That actually looks fine. And then we got timing belt and all the other components. So probably end up getting to those after about a week or so driving this. I think I'm still just gonna run the pulley that's wobbly on there just for the time being. All right, blower motor's back in, filter's in. Let's see if she blows. Look at that. So let's see if the air conditioning works. Which that I did not test, obviously, because there was no blower motor working. So let's see if the car makes a sound. Yep. Hear the condenser and that expansion valve. Hear stuff flowing through it. So I'm gonna let it run for a few minutes with the AC on. Hopefully this gets cold, otherwise I might need a little recharge. But yeah, there we go. AC. Sweet, look at that. All right, I'm gonna put this cover back on. And I think that'll wrap up this video. Thanks for tuning in. I hope this was helpful if you have a Passat and you're doing some stuff. Yeah, follow along as I try to make this thing my daily driver.